All right, everybody, welcome back. We are ready for another deep dive, and today we're going underwater.
Ooh, sounds fun.
Yeah, it is. We're diving into the world of lionfish, and we're actually going to be looking at a conversation from the Animals Wonders podcast.
Okay.
And we're going to be really trying to unpack some of the really interesting facts about the lionfish. We all know lionfish are pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to these creatures than meets the eye.
Absolutely. And when I hear lionfish, I think deadly dandy of the deep.
Deadly dandy of the deep.
Yeah, that's what they call them. I think it really captures their essence.
I love that.
But yeah, with those venomous spines.
Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. The deadly dandy of the deep, first of all.
Right.
How accurate is that? How dangerous are these lionfish, really?
I think it is fairly accurate. Those colors, those patterns, those flowing fins, they're just so captivating.
Right.
But then you have the venomous spines, and that's where the deadly part comes in. It's a neurotoxin.
Yeah, no kidding. So I guess if you ever see one while you're out snorkeling,
Yeah.
admire it from afar.
Oh, yeah, definitely. While fatalities from lionfish stings are very rare, really rare,
Okay.
they can be incredibly painful.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And, they can cause nausea, difficulty breathing, even temporary paralysis in some cases.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so I think the warning still stands. Look, don't touch.
Look, but don't touch. But, it's interesting because the real threat of the lionfish, at least as I understand it, is as an invasive species,
Absolutely.
especially in the Atlantic and the Caribbean. So how do they even get there in the first place?
So that's still a little bit of a mystery. Nobody's entirely sure, but the leading theory is that people just released some lionfish from their home aquariums, in Florida, probably back in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah, and the problem is they don't have any natural predators in those new environments, so their populations just kind of exploded and, they kind of took over.
So it's like an uninvited guest to a party that just won't leave and eat all the food.
One of the hosts of the podcast actually described watching a lionfish hunt, and the way they described it, it's almost like a supermodel, strutting down a coral reef runway.
Wow.
But an assassin supermodel.
That's great.
I just love that visual because it is true. They're just so graceful and elegant, and yet they are deadly efficient predators.
So assassin supermodel. So I guess my next question would be, what do we do about these supermodels?
Well, that's the tricky part, right? Because they reproduce so rapidly, it's pretty much impossible to eradicate them completely at this point anyway. But there are some things being done, things like encouraging spearfishing of lionfish.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and even developing special traps for them to try and control their numbers.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, I gotta say, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
Yeah.
The lionfish, they really do live up to this deadly dandy
They do.
nickname.
Absolutely.
A beautiful creature, but with a really complex story.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes to show that sometimes beauty really does come with a bite.
Absolutely. It does.
And that disrupting an ecosystem, even unintentionally, can have, massive ripple effects.
It can. It really, really can.
Well, I really appreciate your expertise today. This has been great.
Oh, thank you.
And for everyone listening out there, here's something to think about. How do we balance respecting the natural world with managing the impact of invasive species like this lionfish?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it is a big one. Anyway, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and until next time, we'll see you on our next deep dive.
Thanks for joining us on Animal Wonders. Stay curious, and until next time, keep wondering about the wild world around you.